And Nigeria's equities market resumes trading today after a one-day Democracy Day holiday on Wednesday. I have with me in studio Moses Hamed. He's an investment research analyst at Investment One Financial Services. He joins me to preview the markets today. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're coming back after the holiday, but we've seen the market has been taking a beating for quite a while. 7 consecutive sessions of decline so far.
I think it's just the reality. You know, after the MTN rally that has actually clouded the reality of the market that time. So the reality has set in, and since the gains we've seen in MTN have stopped and the stock has not settled. So I think the reality of the market is now showing now. Look at market breadth, it's still negative.
All right, then when you look at the sectors, though, how they're holding up, we're seeing, when you look at the second quarter, just, you know, and how they're holding up, we're seeing that the NSE Oil and Gas Index is taking the beating. Sector is down about 14% so far. And then on Wednesday, we're seeing oil prices dipping about 3.7%.
Yeah, exactly. I think at the point, the stock, I mean, most companies, I mean, their stock on the exchange started reacting to the volatility in the oil market because of trade war between US and China, and so it won't be far-fetched for that to reflect in the index performance. If you look at the likes of Seplat particularly, which is operating in the upstream segment, and because of the weight of Seplat, you expect that stock to drag the index down, and that's what we have seen so far.
Looking at other players in there, we still have the Owando and the SEC issue still playing out, and you know we're seeing new information coming in there, and the fact that Owando is talking about the fact that the cancellation of the AGM by the Securities and Exchange Commission was not in the best interest for the company.
I think yes, it's the issue of Owando and SEC is a major one, and it's a pity that the minority shareholders will feel it more, because their stocks, their value will be volatile now. If you look at the stock that has been volatile since the issue started. So I think it's just giving another uncertainty to that stock in addition to the uncertainty in the oil market. So I think it's just it's a pity that this is happening now, but we hope that the SEC and Owando will come to an agreement on the issue, because for now it's a bit uncertain. We don't really know, because both sides are coming out to say different things, back and forth, and they are even taking each other to court. So issues like this, I think we still need much more clarity before we can make a call on it. But now I don't think it's possible for shareholders of that stock now, because uncertainty is not good for your investments.
All right, I'm still looking at Q2. We're looking at how the sectors are performing. I'm looking at the chart here, and I'm seeing industrial sectors also taking a huge hit. It's down about 11.2% so far in the quarter. Looking at the key names in there, I'm looking at Dangote Cement. See, on Tuesday, he printed in as one of the major losers on the day.
Yeah.
Looking at Dangote Cement, what's your guidance for that stock going forward?
I think Dangote is one of those stocks that I will always recommend, because if you look at the cement consumption per capita in Nigeria is still low. Look at the infrastructure deficit, housing deficit in Nigeria is still low. So you expect more construction activities, but it all depends on budget. If your budget is not passed on time, it will take time for them to start dispensing for capital projects, and it's from this that you expect the likes of Danksem and WACO, CCN to perform better. If you see more capital projects, that's when you see more demand for their products. So I think it's more of what you see in the economy environment in terms of government project implementation of the budget is a major thing. So this is a major concern for investors. Although you can see the likes of Danksem, their investment is diversified, they are operating in other African countries, but the bulk of their revenue is coming from Nigeria. About 60% of the company's revenue is coming from Nigeria. So that's telling you that they are still much more exposed to Nigeria.
Still staying in that space, and I'm looking at the players in the cement space. I'm looking at Lafarge Africa now. We're seeing that they've still further delayed the release of their full-year results. They're asking, till I think it's going to come out on the 28th of this month, towards the end of the month. And what's happening there?
I think Lafarge has actually is that the stock has really taken a huge loss. If you look at the stock from, I think, last year, 2017, the stock used to be around 54 naira, but now it's around 10 naira or 11 naira now. That's a massive, massive loss for investment in that stock. And basically, one of the issues they've been having is their South Africa business. They've been having a lot of production challenges in that region, and it's actually been affecting their performance. And apart from that, they used to have huge finance cost, which has actually been taking a large chunk of their earnings and making their PBT to be very low eventually. So if you look at, because of their huge debt position, this is part of these things they are trying to manage, because I think they have raised right issue. They have done right issue like twice now. So if they are trying to deleverage their balance sheet so that at least their finance costs will still be. But for Nigerian business, I think they are still doing very well in Nigerian business. The major thing is that they're making loss in South Africa and they are having huge finance costs for the group results. So I think those are the two major challenges they are facing. Once they can settle or quash out the issues in their South Africa business, I think they may still recover, but it will take time. Actually, anybody that wants to invest in that stock should be looking at the long term and looking at the potential in the whole in this sector.
All right, and we're looking at that sector very closely going into the trading day today. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. I've been speaking to Moses Hamed. He's an investment research analyst at Investment One Financial Services.